All right, it's 3:30. We've got some mojito tea. That rhymes. About time to do a podcast, I reckon.
Good plan.
Hello and welcome back to the Space Jam Continuum, the show where we try to make a cohesive cinematic universe out of something that was never meant to be one. I'm Chris McLennan.
I'm Carl Noble.
And, we saw the return of, who was once our good pink boy.
Yeah, he's not anymore though, is he?
No, hasn't been for a long time.
Yeah.
But we thought he was out of the picture, laying low, just keeping off the radar, and he seems to be back.
He's back in what appears to be New York.
Yeah.
And he's forced a dog to be his master.
Yeah, it's a sort of dom sub masquerading as sub dom sitch.
Yeah.
But we think that's just because, Porky III is back, and he quite famously had a thing going on with his various dogs over the years.
Yeah.
I think he's just worried, that he's going to be found out. So he's changed the dynamic a bit. It'll be interesting to see, how his reintroduction to society pans out, because he's already displaying his maniacal tendencies.
Yeah.
What else went down? Not a lot that had a massive effect on the universe, really.
No, we had 2 episodes where, not a great deal really kind of affected anything.
Yeah,
so, we had a Porky
we were on
episode.
Clone Watch, but there was no Cinecolor episodes.
Yeah.
Like, we had a Porky episode, but I think it was just one of the many duplicate Porkies. I don't think
just
it was
lumberjacking.
the 3rd or the 4th.
We did get introduced to Colonel Shuffle, though.
Colonel Shuffle kicked in. He was there. And
great.
we know he's going to crop up again, or we're pretty sure, just from... Because our list says it's the first appearance of Colonel Shuffle.
Yeah.
So that implies he's going to come back. But again, didn't have much... impact on the universe. He's met Bugs. He probably has a bit of an issue with Bugs at this point.
That's understandable.
But that's about it. It was a strangely fruitless episode.
Yeah,
in terms of
there
greater
was no
universe stuff.
No revelations at all, was there? It was just like okay. There's that.
We had a big revelation in the first episode.
Maybe that just used them all up. Maybe we have a finite amount of revelation energy, and if it's all used up on the return of Porky III.
Yeah, who knows? I mean, we've got a Porky episode straight away today, so let's launch just straight in and see if we can't start piecing this together. So we are watching Paying the Piper, which is a Porky Pig number from March 12th, 1949. Let's give that a look at.
Let's see what it is.
Your sister drives a pickle wagon.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
There you go with it.
That was a weird episode.
It was. Like, I can't really pin sort of really where I think... Well, I know, like, it's ye olde town of Hamlin.
Yeah.
And it seems to be a town mainly of pigs, but with a lot of cats, stray cats,
yeah,
who've sort of unionised in some sort of situation.
Yeah.
They've got, like, a weird king called Supreme.
Yeah.
And basically, Porky is like the Pied Piper.
Yeah.
And he's got rid of all the rats in Hamlin, and the cats aren't happy about it.
Nope.
So Supreme disguises himself as a rat to stop the Pied Piper getting paid.
Yeah.
Until he can sort it out and get all the rats back in the city. So I mean, it's a weird one. Like, so over the course of it, basically, Porky sort of gets his rat costume off him, and says that's what's all that's left of the last rat, and then the Supreme steals all the money that he would be getting paid, but Porky catches him by fooling him into thinking that all the rats are back in the city with a record called Rat Stampede to fool cats on the other side of fences.
Yeah.
which is convenient.
It was handy that it was there on a little record player.
But yeah, the weird thing, there's a lot of weird things going on here. Like, for a start, we've not seen like a full-on, like, this is a pig town or this is a rabbit town.
Yes.
Really, at any point apart
I mean, it is
from-
called Hamlin.
Yeah, it is called Hamlin. At one point, Porky's insulted by Supreme.
Yeah, saying that your sister smokes corn silk.
Corn silk, and he goes, my sister doesn't smoke corn silk. She works at a butcher's shop and smokes hams, which I thought was somewhat harrowing. The only way I can really explain that away without it being so is because they're in Hamlin.
Yeah.
Like, is there a delicacy that they produce or like a specific style or something that they call hams that aren't hams as we see it?
Yes,
like a
possibly.
Frankfurter or a hamburger.
Yes, yeah.
It's like it's just hams.
Yeah.
You know, steamed
Steamed
hams.
Steamed hams. It's these things made in Hamlin. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, like the rat population is or was phenomenally high. Like
we were led to believe it was 300 billion.
Yeah. Like
300 US billion.
Yes. Yeah.
Not a proper English billion.
No. But I mean, that's still quite a lot considering the actual population. The other population is like 840. Like, you know, that was the amount of people that were in Hamlin.
Because at the start, I thought it was a historical piece because the population was small. It was sort of like, and you know,
ye olde town.
But it's just an old town, but in modern times.
Yeah. So I mean, like, again, I don't. This isn't Porky III. It's not Porky IV. I don't even know if Hamlin is a town in America. Like,
now we say it's not Porky IV, but that there's a level to which I think it could be. That we used to see a lot of toons like doing the showbiz thing. Like this is us doing this story, and that story. Now, I think Porky's done a Pied Piper one before.
He has.
I don't know which Porky. Now, do you think there's a chance? Because A, we haven't seen them do like a show for a while. So is Porky IV still making his good showbiz dollar? I don't know.
Yeah.
Now, when the confused people of Hamlin, with their rat population of 300 billion, saw Porky's good Pied Piper show.
Do you think they thought it was real?
Did they think it was real and employ him? And Porky IV, having fallen on, hard times financially, went, well, do you know what? I'll give it a go.
Yeah. Maybe.
Because we know Porky IV, he's an entertainer, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So this Porky, whoever he is, he can play the clarinet.
Yeah.
Like, you know, pretty well. Like,
and he's managed to, if it is not actually a Pied Piper thing, then he's managed to fool these people into thinking that he is. And does. He has got rid of the rats.
But the other thing I would think also is that just, like, it's Porky the Pig. He's the Pied Piper in this situation. In a town full of pigs, I think they'd be able to recognise Porky Pig.
Possibly.
Because
they should be able to differentiate.
I presume we're having the trouble, like, you know, if we looked at a bunch of pigs in the real world, like we would struggle to go, okay, that one's Larry, that one's Carl. Like,
but Carl and
two good pig names.
But Carl and Larry would be able to tell themselves apart.
Great job.
Yeah.
Great job pulling pig names out of your ass, Chris.
Carl
and Larry. Yeah.
The classic pigs.
They'd be able to tell, like, pigs apart, whereas we can't. So I mean, I think we'd be hard.
I know, but we do know that animals in the Tooniverse can't tell anything apart. As soon as it's got a general shape, they're just like, yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, if it looks like Porky the Pig and it talks like Porky the Pig, it's Porky the Pig, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like to them.
Yeah, I suppose so.
Like, we can tell the difference between Porky Pigs better than I think they can.
Yeah, because we even see animals fooled into thinking, like, it's not even, like, it follows, like, okay, they can't recognise really any animal other than themselves.
Yeah.
But they can't even recognise themselves.
No.
Like, we see tons of, like, chickens just mistaking people for a chicken because they put a glove on their head.
Yeah, exactly. So, like, yeah, I don't think they can.
All bets are on.
Larry and Carl don't have a clue what Larry and Carl look like.
Clueless. They've got face blindness
and
body blindness.
Yeah, they're just blind.
But they are not blind.
Yeah.
They just face and body blindness.
Yeah.
Right, well, I'm back to square one then. What have you got? If you're going to tank my theories...
Well, it's just applying our earlier revelations.
If you're going to tank my theories by adhering to the rules we've already set out for this universe, then you create something, Cal Noble. Come on, come at me.
So, yeah, I think you're right. I think this probably is Porky IV, but it's possible that he's seen an advert went out for, to get rid of this rat problem.
And he was like, I've already got the outfit.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I reckon I could probably do this, and just goes in. And yeah, I'm thinking it's a little backwater town somewhere, somewhere that hasn't really got like good access to, TV or shows or anything like that, because, they're ye olde town.
So
and they don't have a lot of money.
On the side?
They also don't have a lot of money. But yeah, I think he's just got himself a little pipe.
They don't have a lot of money. When the cat steals the one bag of money from the safe...
Like, all the money in the town is gone.
Yeah, he's stolen all the money in town.
All of the money in town.
Which raises a lot of questions.
Yeah, City Hall is also the central bank.
Yeah. But all the money in town?
So that means nobody's got any in their pockets.
Nobody's got any. Just the mayor keeps it all in a drawer in a safe.
Yeah.
In a bag with a dollar sign on it. Like... I mean, I thought the various systems of government we've seen, have been a problem with the monkey mayor, who wasn't the mayor in any way, shape or form. He was a building commissioner. But yeah, the monkey government from the late 30s.
Yeah.
The maniacal rule of Porky III. They're the two sort of full glimpses of government we've actually got. This is, we've finally seen a mayor, not of the city, but of Hamlin.
Yeah.
And, I mean, it just doesn't seem great. He has all the money in town.
Yeah, he really does. But, I mean, did we see anybody else? Or did we just see him?
He was the only other pig we saw.
Did we see anybody other than cats?
It's called Hamlin.
But other than cats, did we see anybody else?
No, we saw a lot of cats and 2 pigs.
Do you think he's the only person other than cats? Because it's his population, and there was a lot of cats. Do you think it's just the mayor and everybody else is his cats?
No, because if there were no pigs, then the population of cats would be who you were pandering to, right?
Well, I'm not...
Not if you've got all the money in town.
Exactly.
Why do you need to pander to?
I'm thinking that this pig mayor is not all there.
He's got a town.
Yeah, he's running a town of... the cats are kind of taking care of themselves. I think he used to be, in charge of a good population of people, but maybe the rats have killed everyone. It's just him left.
Like Porky, but he doesn't say in Hamlin. He doesn't say his sister works at the butcher there.
No.
She just works at a butcher somewhere.
A butcher's smoking hams.
Oh, I don't know what to think. So you think this is a full-on ghost town?
Yeah, and there's cats, rats, and a pig. That's it.
And now there's just cats and a pig.
Yeah, because the thing is there's nothing to eat, which is why the rats are so bothered.
So we think there's a pig, 893 cats, and there is no longer 300 billion shitty US billion, not good English billion.
Rats at all.
Rats.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's why he's got all the money, because that's all the money. It's just his money. That's all he's got left.
Do you think he's a really big Porky Pig fan? Because, if you've got a pest problem, you don't normally call up a celebrity who has done that once on the telly. And if he's the sole ruler of this strange town, maybe he's a Porky III fan.
Well, yeah. What I was just thinking there is maybe Porky III set up this town, as kind of a last ditch effort,
backup.
Yeah,
backup.
And he's put this guy in charge.
What if it's in Porkytopia and he just didn't get the memo
that everyone's gone?
Everyone's gone.
Possibly.
It's like if you go to to Russia or to East Germany, and a lot of the cities just have blocks and blocks of pretty much derelict Soviet architecture. He's just in this empty ghost town, and he's lost his marbles.
Yeah, I think that's because we didn't see anybody else. We just saw. All of this because he has all the money in town.
Because he's got the money in town, which is one bag.
Yeah, one bag of money, which he was going to give to Porky anyway.
Well, okay, so I guess like as the areas of Porkytopia are reclaimed, then we'll probably see Hamlin fall under the relentless yoke of the government oppression.
Yeah, whatever government's there,
operating as like just a weird fragmented splinter state.
Yeah. Full of, cats.
Not full, full of cats.
Full of cats now.
Okay, sold.
There you go.
So, there we go. Okay. Okay, let's move on. Your favourite boy is in this episode.
He is.
He's Daffy Duck. He's there with Porky Pig and Barnyard Dog. We're watching Daffy Duck Hunt from March 26th, 1949. Okay, my reckoning, Porky IV has finished his Pied Piper job. He's taken all the money out of Hamlin and he's bought himself a new dog and a freezer unit.
Yeah.
And now he's out hunting to get something to put in his freezer unit to, make some delicious meal.
Yeah.
In comes the Duckmobile.
Yeah, right. That was absolutely fantastic. So Daffy's obviously got some agency cash behind him. Because he has a Duckmobile. I
think they're just changing the vibe of whatever his unit is. I wonder if Bugs has like a carrot copter or something like that. Like,
or kind of like 007-esque carrot gadgets.
Yeah, but Daffy is definitely carting around in a boat that just looks like a massive duck.
Yeah.
Like it's just a big mallard and he just carts around in it.
It looks amazing though.
Yeah, it's strong.
It reminded me of Batman Returns, from the
Danny DeVito. He's carting
as
around
the penguin. He's just driving around
it's like a big rubber duck.
Yeah,
it's like a swan boat, is it?
Yeah, and he's just driving about in that. It's like that's immediately when I looked, I was like, oh yeah, there's that.
There's that. He's borrowed that. But so Daffy's got a Duckmobile now.
Yeah.
That was a big revelation for us. But yeah, Daffy. I think he takes. I get the impression he takes pity on Porky's dog, who basically. So Porky sends the dog off to go and get Daffy out of the brush.
Yeah,
and the dog's plan is basically just starts bawling his eyes out, and then Daffy, with his good medical degree, comes out and says, "Why the copious flow of lacrimal fluid, my good gent." It was just like, oh yeah, I forgot.
Yeah, he obviously has a degree.
I forgot Daffy was a doctor for a while.
Because it's nice to see that Daffy takes it all very seriously. Like every job that he takes up, he goes and gets a degree in that job.
Yeah. Like he's possibly the most educated.
Yeah.
But that's probably why he's got such mental conflict.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
It's because there's just a lot going on in there. But yeah, I think he takes pity on the dog and basically lets the dog just take him home. So they get home, Porky bungs him in the freezer. Daffy, well, basically the dog's sort of conscience and paranoia kind of get him to get Daffy out of the freezer. And, Daffy basically keeps trying to escape, failing. The freezer itself is an interesting entity.
Yeah, every time it opens, a blizzard seems to come out. So, there's a blizzard in there, or it's a portal to the Arctic tundra.
Well, I think it's kind of a bit of both.
Yeah.
Because Daffy, the second time he comes out...
Yeah, he's got mittens and a scarf.
Screaming about a blizzard.
Yeah.
And something about getting a serum through.
Yeah, trying to push through to get the serum... through, what serum, to who, and why.
But I wonder how much time passed when he was in the freezer for him.
Yeah, I don't know. But has he lived a whole lifetime in there?
But the fact that you can just reach in and get someone back out, if it's a portal to, somewhere snow-covered with a blizzard, then it has to be somewhere remote enough that your best hope of survival is not to leave and walk away from where the portal is.
Yes.
It's just to stay by the portal and hope someone gets you out the freezer before you die.
Yeah, because, normally freezers are used for storing, inanimate things that aren't going to try and run away. So,
yeah,
it's got like when you open the freezer door, hopefully whatever you put down is going to stay there when you shut the door.
You would hope that, most people are using it to, store stuff that's already dead.
Yeah.
Now, I know Porky thought Daffy was dead when he first put him in there,
yeah.
but after the first escape, he must know.
Yeah, and they're buddies.
Like, I mean, are Daffy and Porky IV buddies?
Well, I mean, the thing is we know Daffy knows Porky IV, and we know Porky IV knows Daffy. Yeah. Whether or not they are friends or not, I don't know. But
also, we've already established that no one can recognise each other.
Well, that is true. He probably has no idea that it's Daffy Duck at all, because he doesn't introduce himself.
Do you think that's the only way it can be done, and you just take everything at face value then?
Possibly, but there again, like Daffy seems to know
if I walked up to Porky Pig and said, I'm Abraham Lincoln, would he go, all right?
Well, yeah, I suppose you probably would, because we have seen that happen.
See, no, we haven't seen that happen. Like, I don't mean if I disguised myself as Abraham Lincoln.
Yeah.
I mean if I just walked up.
Oh, right.
Hi,
without
I'm Abraham
the disguise.
Lincoln.
Right, yeah, maybe not.
There's got to be a line, because otherwise the heavy use of disguise throughout the Tooniverse
is unnecessary.
Would be somewhat moot.
Yeah, but a lot of everything we see is largely unnecessary. So.
It's true. Yeah, I don't really know what to make of this in general. Like, so so in the end, Daffy's dressed up like Santa and he sings Jingle Bells, and Porky's about to carve him up and make a duck dinner, but he has something on him that says "Do not open until Christmas," and that's his plan to buy him time to escape.
It seems to be like law that they cannot open something if it's got that label on it. Because we've seen that, that happens many times. You stick that label on "Do not until Christmas," and they don't.
They take Christmas for something we haven't seen very much of.
They take it very seriously.
Like, for those of you who have listened to our Christmas special, you'll know that we just made it up because there was not a lot of information there. There was one cartoon to watch. So, yeah, I mean, at least it's given us some material for this year's Christmas special.
Yeah.
But yeah, it does seem like for something that we don't see referred to very often, they do take it incredibly seriously.
But maybe that's why we don't see it pop up so much, because they take it that seriously. They don't want it filmed.
Maybe it's just that they don't like it that much. It's just something they have to do.
Oh God. Yeah.
Like.
So kind of like in
like
Futurama,
Christmas,
where there's the evil Santa going around killing everyone.
There's a lot of rules.
Yeah. Maybe.
Like Festivus in Seinfeld.
Yeah.
Where you put up the Festivus pole and have the airing of grievances and the feats of strength. And there's a load of shit that no one wants to do.
Yeah. Maybe it is like that.
Well, let's save that for the Christmas episode. But yeah, we've got some stuff to work with. But like, currently we're pretty sure that Daffy is being held by Porky IV until at least Christmas.
He's going to get out. Of course he bloody is. It's Daffy. He's just going to drive them all mental until they leave him alone.
Well, I don't think we're going to find out for quite a while, because the last one this week is a Bugs Bunny on his Todd number.
It is.
So join us in watching Rebel Rabbit, which is a Bugs Bunny number from April 9th, 1949. It's like a Bug's origin story.
I know, it's really weird. So a couple of episodes back, we saw him gain his some powers through the use of a genie. But with this one, I mean, there's nothing to indicate that it's set back in time.
No, but he definitely doesn't have. He definitely doesn't use any powers in this at all.
No, he doesn't.
Like, he mails himself to Washington.
Yeah.
Like, everything he does, like, off his own back in this episode. So basically, the episode starts, he's strolling through the woods, and there's bounty signs up for various animals.
Yeah.
So it's $50 for a fox, $75 for a bear, and he gets insulted that it's only 2 cents for a rabbit.
Yeah.
So he mails himself to Washington to go and see the game commissioner, who says that it's because those other animals are destructive and
a nuisance,
and animals are just sweet and nice.
Yeah,
and Bugs is like, I'll show you that a rabbit can be as obnoxious as any other creature.
Yeah,
and he then goes on basically a spree around the US, like just vandalizing stuff, giving areas back to the Native Americans.
Yeah, turns off Niagara Falls.
He turns off Niagara Falls. He saws Florida off and just kicks it out to sea.
Fills in the Grand Canyon.
He fills in the Grand Canyon. He takes all the locks off the Panama Canal.
Yeah.
And tags everything with Bugs Bunny was it.
Yeah.
So at this juncture, like, because previously we've assumed that everyone knows who Bugs Bunny is because
he's a beloved movie star.
A beloved movie star. But like, we've only really seen any of that really with Porky and Daffy to an extent for the stint where he was a director. I think everyone knows who Bugs is because he's a world famous like vandal.
Yeah, like he's almost doing like the sort of things that you would expect from like a supervillain.
Yeah, but I also wonder if like a lot of people see it as some sort of, you know, amazing art. Like he's
possibly.
Banksy.
Yeah, well, yeah. It's like, oh, that's really unique. Maybe he's trying to send a message. But what does happen is Congress meet, and Bugs Bunny ends up with a bounty on his head. Now he's failed to increase the bounty on rabbits, but has just managed to get a bounty on himself.
They mobilise the armed forces.
Yeah.
Like, and, it's a miracle he's alive at the end of this episode.
Yeah, well, he ends up in Alcatraz.
Army. He ends up in Alcatraz. Now, my thinking is that this is pre any association with the agency.
Yeah.
And they sort of, they let him stew in prison for a bit, and then they approach him to sort of come over.
Well, I mean, the thing is we know that Bugs was working for the agency during the war. So, the agency must be aware that the bugs that they were working with in the war is a later version of Bugs than the Bugs that's been arrested. They like Bugs must have come back in time and said, "Look, this is how you're going to get me on your side." Like at one point, there's going to be a version of me that's going to go around terrorizing everything. Just lock me up and offer me this job, and I'll take it.
Yeah,
so they must be aware of it,
sort of thing.
Yeah,
but I think this is how they turned the tide of the war.
Yeah,
is they got Bugs on side and then sent him back in a Terminator sort of way.
Yes, yeah, but
I don't think Bugs knows about his powers right now. I think the agency might.
Yeah, which is why they feel confident sending.
They go to some, they go to their sort of headquarters. They train him up because they know they know.
Yeah, well, because Future Bugs has already told them.
Yeah, they know there's something like latent there, like they can tap into and go like. So they train. I reckon the agency train him up to use his powers that he currently doesn't know that he has.
Because I mean, like before that, when we saw him get powers, all we know is that he ended up with some powers, but he doesn't know what they were. He just ended up in a harem with loads of women about him. So
yeah, because he just said, I want to be the most powerful rabbit in the world.
Oh well, the most powerful bunny on Earth.
Bunny on Earth, yeah.
Yeah. So
yeah, I mean, I think that's how it works. And you get into that sort of paradoxical situation like you do with all cyclical time travel things, where it's like, okay, well, did they recruit him first and send him back, or did he? Like, how did it work?
Yeah, where's it start?
But that's fine. It's good, just good time travel.
Yeah,
noise
exactly.
So yeah, Bugs. Went on a madly artistic, vandalization.
Yeah, all just to increase the bounty on his head.
All to increase the bounty on rabbits in general, which didn't work. Got himself banged up in Alcatraz, and we presume, like a little while down the line, when he's really not too happy in there.
Yeah.
He's approached by some G-man.
Yeah.
And taken under the wing, as it were. So that's
interesting.
That's more fruitful than the previous episode.
It really was. Yeah, like there was a lot went on there.
Yeah, it's nice to follow up a largely universe fruitless episode last week with something where it's like, okay,
some substance.
We've got some substance here. That's about all we've got this week.
Yeah.
If you like the show, please tell people about it.
Tell
Word
everyone.
of mouth is how we get around. We don't advertise the show. We just, if you enjoy it, tell some other people who might enjoy it, because the kind of people you hang out with probably enjoy at least some similar things to you. If you listen on iTunes, please just take a minute and give us a review. It really helps our visibility. We've got of which we have very little at the moment,
especially on iTunes.
We know you're out there, listeners on iTunes. Please just take a minute out and leave us a review, because
it helps us out a lot.
Because otherwise we're doomed to stew off all of the charts.
Yes,
and it's it's just the way it works. So if you could help us out, it'd be much appreciated.
It'd be wonderful.
We're on the verge of opening up the Kaiju store. That might even have happened by now. I don't know, because we're recording this 2 weeks ahead of when we need to. So keep an eye out for that. You can get some good Space Jam Continuum merch, some good Lore Masters, Prestige, Buy the Mash Ton merch.
Merch.
Buy the Mash Ton is our promo this week, so stay tuned for a little bit of that after the good theme tune at the end.
I do love that theme tune, though.
Yeah, it's a banger.
It is.
Keep listening. We'll see you next week.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bye.
How much do you like beer? Do you drink it? Do you ponder it?
We like great beer so much that we brew it. Maybe you do too, or are curious about the process and ingredients involved. Or maybe you just want to hear people talk about it.
Come and join us. Buy the Mash Tun, a fortnightly beer and brewing podcast by a couple of nerds where we brew some beer, drink some beer, and have a nice little chat about beer.
You can find us on kaiju.fm or wherever you listen to your podcasts. Just search for Buy the Mash Tun. Crack open a brew.